From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It is Tuesday, November 25th. Let's open up the windows and get the day going. Breaking news coming first to CBS. Ukraine agreeing to a peace proposal brokered by the Trump administration with just a few details left to work out. The latest on the negotiations as attacks between Ukraine and Russia continue.
You're seeing all this kind of stuff, and then it's like, am I going to park down there? My car is going to get broken into.
A struggling San Francisco food hall losing another key restaurant. The safety concerns and struggling foot traffic that led to the restaurant owners to say we're calling it quits.
It's harder and harder. Inflation's going sky high.
Stretching their budget to the last cent. We go grocery shopping with two Bay Area women who rely on food stamps. See how you can help people in their shoes this holiday season.
It's one of the most desirable comic books that you could own.
And it is dubbed the most expensive comic book ever sold. How this rare Superman comic turned up in a San Francisco home, and why it's valued at more than $9 million.
Okay, well, it's Tuesday, and as we head outside today, it's a lot more cloudy, a lot more foggy throughout most of the Bay Area. A dense fog advisory in effect right now for most of the Bay, and I'm just going to show you where that fog's mostly at. Along the Bay shoreline, along our coastal communities. What the National Weather Service has done is highlighted all the zones and counties on this map in that gray color under a dense fog advisory until 11 a.m. this morning. Daytime highs throughout these areas are going to stay nice and cool, too. We're talking about upper 50s again and lower 60s widespread throughout the Bay Area. Along our coast, I'm going to turn that blue color on. That beach hazard statement lasts another day here in the Bay Area. Choppy waves, rip currents, and sneaker waves make it very hard to head out there to the water. Be very careful out there. If you take your strolls in the morning along there, make sure the dogs are leashed before you head out to the beach. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Jessica. We have breaking news this morning. A U.S. official told CBS News today that Ukraine's government had agreed to a peace deal brokered by the Trump administration, though details are still to be worked out. So the news comes as a U.S. Army Secretary, Dan Driscoll, is in Abu Dhabi to meet with Russian officials about the proposed plan for ending this nearly four-year war. The meetings followed days of talks in Switzerland, where American and Ukrainian officials negotiated the plan. Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky says he will discuss sensitive issues in the proposal with President Trump. A source tells CBS News Driscoll is working off of a revised version of the White House's 28-point proposal. So some of the details in the original proposal called for Ukraine to give up territory, cap the size of its military, and swear off NATO membership. This is a map that shows what territory has been in the negotiations. Critics say it included many of Moscow's long-standing demands. Again, no word from Russia this morning about the latest developments. This all comes as Russia launched overnight missile and drone strikes on Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv. 7 people were killed and at least a dozen others were hurt. 2 residential buildings were also hit, setting off fires and leaving hundreds of people homeless. There also was a massive attack on energy infrastructure, at least according to the Ukrainian Minister of Energy. We'll continue to follow this breaking news story throughout the morning. Stay with us on the air and online at kpix.com as more updates come in. Holiday travel for Thanksgiving really picks up today. Expect the roads and the skies to be the busiest they have been all year. For air travel, the TSA expects more than 17 million people will pass through airport screenings over the course of the next week. That would make it the busiest Thanksgiving travel period in 15 years. The FAA says it is ready to meet the demand. Listen.
For us, this week is our Super Bowl, and I'm here to tell you we've got a great plan. We're past the laps, controllers are back at work, they're excited to be back on the job.
If you are delayed or you're canceled, know that it comes from a place of your safety in mind.
There will be more people driving to their holiday destinations as well this year. AAA says nearly 82 million people will be on the roads and more than 9.5 million people in California alone. So let's give you a live look at our Bay Area bridges this morning as the travel rush kicks off. AAA says tonight will be the busiest time on the road, especially going north on 101 out of San Francisco. But don't be shocked if it is busy from the afternoon on. As for gas prices in San Francisco, the average price for a gallon of regular gas costs an average of $4.58. In Oakland, it's $4.48, and in San Jose, it is $4.39. Later this morning, we'll have some travel hacks from AAA that you won't want to miss as you get ready to head out of town. Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community. This morning, a San Francisco man will be sentenced for a brutal attack on an elderly woman, closing the loop on a story that shook so many in the community. Earlier this month, the jury found Keontae Gathron guilty of first-degree murder, robbery, carjacking, elder abuse, and more. Prosecutors say he attacked 88-year-old Yik Oi Huang at a Visitation Valley playground back in 2019. She died a year later as a result of the injuries she sustained in that attack. The DA says he targeted Asian victims. Sentencing is set for 9 a.m. at the Hall of Justice. He could face life in prison. In Oakland, there is a push for new and more campus security after the murder of legendary coach John Bean. The Peralta Community College District has approved $220,000 in emergency funds for security improvements at the Laney College campus. The Bay Area News Group reports the Board of Trustees approved funding to allow the school to move forward with new or improved security fencing, lighting, cameras, and more in a special meeting yesterday. Earlier this month, a man shot Coach Beam at the school's field house. A memorial in Coach's honor still stands there today. Staying in the East Bay, new pressure builds on Berkeley Unified. Congress just opened a new federal investigation into anti-Semitism in schools and named Berkeley among those under scrutiny. Lawmakers cite reports that the district may have failed to protect Jewish and Israeli students after the October 7th attack by Hamas in 2023. Berkeley Unified says it already has addressed past incidents and will respond to the request. In May of 2024, Superintendent Anika Ford Morthel told Congress that anti-Semitism is not widespread in the district. After years of challenges, Union Square experienced quite a bounce back this year. Nintendo, Zara, Pop Mart, and more shops moved in, and even more flagship stores plan to open up next year. But not too far away, there is a food hall where some businesses are struggling. The latest casualty is a vegan Puerto Rican restaurant closing up shop at the end of the year. As Amanda Harry reports, it joins several other restaurants that have given up operating inside Salia Hall downtown.
So these are our pastelillos. We cook the meat in-house.
For years, the Now family has been building Casa Borinqueña, bringing the community authentic Puerto Rican food, all 100% vegan.
This business was my mom's dream.
Emerald Now says growing up, her mom would always talk about opening a restaurant. She felt most at home in the kitchen. In 2018, it finally became a reality when they started doing pop-ups in Oakland.
Any place that was willing to take us, we would work many different hours cooking in ghost kitchens.
Someone from IKEA tasted their food and pitched the idea of opening a location at Salia Hall Food Hall. It sounded great, but in reality, it's been a challenge.
There's been a lot of ups and downs, honestly. When we first started, there was a lot of passion, excitement, but the area definitely impacts how business, works.
Now says many people don't realize there's a second floor and that the crime, drug use, and people experiencing homelessness right outside the location deters customers.
You're seeing all this kind of stuff, and then it's like, am I going to park down there? My car is going to get broken into.
Now says her family struggled to make the decision, but issues with management made it the best option.
The food hall is now about to be under a new partnership or ownership, and it's just been kind of hard to reach a mutual understanding. I believe that the rent also has gone up.
Curb Food was overseeing Salia Hall since opening in 2024, but now it's being operated by Inca Centers, the parent company of IKEA. Now says their last day will be January 1st, but for now, they're going to keep cooking.
So this is our chicken protein that we turn into skewers, or we chop up and we put into our pastelillos or top our food off.
They're also thinking about what's next. Casa Borinqueña also has a location in Philadelphia, but they don't want to lose their presence in the Bay Area.
We're trying to get into the East Bay because we're located out there and it would just make it a bit easier. So we've been playing with the idea of possibly opening in Oakland, maybe Emeryville. The dream is to be in Alameda, of course,
We did reach out to the company managing that food hall, but have not heard back yet. Add another win for the red and gold. The 49ers beat the Panthers last night despite quarterback Brock Purdy throwing 3 interceptions in the first half. It was this guy, Christian McCaffrey, who put the team on his back instead. He racked up 142 total yards and a touchdown. San Francisco beat Carolina 20-9. Matt Lively will break it all down in our red and gold report coming up. It is 6:10 on this Tuesday morning. Cases against 2 of President Trump's longtime foes tossed out. The reasoning from a federal judge coming up. Now let's head out live to Veronica Macias at one of our Bay Area food banks that's making sure families do not go hungry for the holidays. Great to see you, Veronica.
Good morning. Lights are on here in this warehouse at the Redwood Empire Food Bank, which covers multiple counties in Northern California. We're going to talk to the food bank's leaders, how they're seeing an alarming number of families signing up for assistance.
An important story coming up, and let's give you a look outside live on this Tuesday morning. The sunrise just starting to begin. Jess will have your forecast when we come back. Stay with us.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back. We are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from across the globe. A federal judge has dismissed indictments against 2 of President Trump's longtime foes, former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. The judge ruled the Trump administration exceeded its authority in appointing one of the president's former aides, Lindsay Halligan, as interim U.S. attorney after the previous U.S. attorney resigned for refusing to bring the cases forward. The White House is vowing to appeal. The Pentagon is reviewing misconduct allegations against Arizona Senator Mark Kelly to determine if he should face discipline under military law. Kelly, a former Navy captain, recently joined other Democrats in a video telling troops that they don't have to follow illegal orders. Kelly says he first heard about the Pentagon's investigation on social media and insists that he will not back down. And in our nation's capital, 2 lucky turkeys are getting ready for their close-ups. Gobble and Waddle are set to receive their official pardons by President Trump today. This is a part of a pre-Thanksgiving tradition at the White House that dates back nearly 80 years. The 2 North Carolina turkeys spent Monday night at Washington, D.C.'s Willard Hotel in a luxury suite that typically costs about $400 a night. And here is a live look at the White House. The pardoning is set to happen at right around 9 o'clock this morning, our time. Every day, thousands of Bay Area families struggle to make ends meet. And each holiday season, CBS News Bay Area teams up with local food banks to help fight food insecurity. About 42 million people rely on SNAP benefits to eat in the United States. Food aid has been in the spotlight with the recent government shutdown. And this morning, we are getting a closer look at what those benefits really mean for people who rely on them to survive. Len Ramirez spent the day with 2 San Jose women who told us every grocery trip is a calculation and every dollar counts.
I do need some top ramen.
On a weekday afternoon, Kelly Goodman rolls into the grocery store on her motorized cart, her friend Anna walking beside her. Both women were once homeless, and today they share something else, the daily work of stretching food benefits to survive.
Okay, here's the lunch meat for the, which is the sale price on it. That one on sale rate was just right here. $4.29. How much is this one? This one's $4.33. That's okay. That's actually a good price. Yeah. Okay.
Kelly gets $60 a month in federal food assistance, $60 to last 30 days.
No juices on sale. No, none on sale.
It's all about comparing prices, checking tags, calculating as they go.
I have margarine.
Their first big splurge, a rotisserie chicken.
We plan a meal, 1 meal a week that is meat-based.
Then 2 small tubes of hamburger on sale.
Okay, these are only $5.94. Get 2 of these. Oh no, those are $4.97.
The 2 move slowly down the aisles, passing things they want but can't afford.
They used to be like $12 because of the price. I haven't had tri-tip in years.
They keep moving. Frozen broccoli, canned vegetables, and then
Oh, it's twin pack for $3.64. It's 2 dinners for $3.64.
even with careful planning and most of the way through the store, the cart stays mostly empty. The math relentless.
Could be close.
At self-checkout, the total tells a remarkable story. Just 25 cents over.
60-25. That was good, girl. 60-25? 60-25.
It is a moment of victory, carved from necessity, a routine these two know by heart.
We got it down pretty good.
A short time later, in Kelly's small kitchen at her supportive housing apartment, Anna cooks tonight's meal.
So it's me behind the camera, and this is Anna cooking me. Oh, hamburger helper stroganoff and some broccoli with cheese.
It's what they call a normal, everyday meal. Normal because it has to be.
But it's harder and harder. And inflation's going sky high, and can't stretch out a meal like you used to.
She says the political fight over benefits like hers feels distant until it lands on people with the least.
Taking away their source of nutrition and food. I don't understand that thought process. From the most poor.
Under a gray November sky, Kelly and Anna head back to the car, two friends who've weathered years of hardship together, still counting dollars, still stretching meals, and still hoping people deciding their futures are paying attention.
And we invite you to join us in helping your community as a part of our Food for Bay Area Families initiative. Scan the QR code on your screen to find out how you can donate to or volunteer at our local food banks. You can also head to kpix.com/give to learn more. Let's give you a live look now from the top of Black Mountain on this Tuesday morning. The fog settling in, it looks like, but the sunrise trying to make its presence known. Here's Jess with your weather forecast. Hey, Jess.
I know they're going back and forth right now. That sun that's starting to show, and then on top of that, all that fog that we're waking up to this morning. The reality is, as we head outside this morning, we're still under a dense fog advisory throughout most of the Bay Area. I'm going to pull up our indicators just to show you our daytime highs so you can kind of paint that picture already and orient yourself on this map. We're gearing up for 60s and 50s today for our daytime highs widespread throughout the Bay Area. 2 advisories issued by the National Weather Service. All that gray color you see around me is a dense fog advisory that will last until 11 a.m. this morning. You head over into the coast, it's another day of another beach hazard statement issued by the National Weather Service. We're gearing up for sneaker waves, rip currents, choppy waters all along that shoreline, anywhere from Half Moon Bay, which by the way is sitting at 63 degrees today, up into places like Ocean Beach in San Francisco sitting at 62. So it's a cool day. It's not a day to head out into the water anyways. This is just a good reminder of that. Now, here's a couple things that are going to look a little different as we head into the next couple days. The weather here is looking great for us as we head into that Thanksgiving holiday travel. No weather delays here at our local Bay Area airports. However, I will say there's some storms pushing through the plains as we head into the afternoon hours today, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley. So there are some weather delays over into places like Chicago. We can see that similar trend as that storm tracks off into the northeast, all the way up into New York, potentially up into places like Boston too as we head into the evening hours tonight. Just something to think about if you are heading out to the airports today and you do notice some weather delays. It's clearly not for us. It's for those other airports. Now, it is Thanksgiving around the corner, and as we hit the roads or the skies, we're going to be dealing with great conditions here locally for those roads, dry conditions each day as we head into this week. And as we head into this weekend too, daytime highs stay nice and cool, but at least we're dealing with dry conditions. Perfect timing for any of that Thanksgiving travel. Back to you.
All right, really is perfect timing for that. Thanks, Jess. Let's talk traffic. We'll start in Hayward on 880 southbound before the Tennyson Road exit. There is a crash that's causing some backup in the right-hand lane. Travel time through there is about 35 minutes this morning, so be aware of that. There's also a crash on 101 southbound at the Golden Gate Toll Plaza exit. The fast lane there is blocked. Over to the Altamont Pass, speeds are crawling at about 15 miles per hour with an estimated 57-minute drive time through that stretch, so you might want to queue up your favorite playlist. It's going to be a little bit of a drive in. Across other parts of the bay, dense fog is causing some slow stretches this morning. 2 areas where there's pretty heavy fog right now, Pacheco on Highway 4 westbound at Pacheco Boulevard, and in Martinez on 680, the northbound side of it, at Waterfront Road. Here's a live look at the Golden Gate Bridge. You can see it is a little bit foggy out there as well. It's building up on the drive-in from Marin. Again, take it slow through those spans and consider using low beam headlights if you encounter fog. That is a look at your morning commute. It is 6:22 on this Tuesday morning. Another massive game for 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Highlights for the Red and Gold's primetime win coming up. Well, the most important takeaway from Monday night was the 49ers earned their 8th win of the season, but it was surely a game that Brock Purdy will quickly want to forget. Matt Lively explains in this morning's Red and Gold Report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
It's the week of Thanksgiving, so if I had to describe this Niners victory with the holiday spirit in mind, I'd say they absolutely burnt the turkey, but thankfully the gravy was good enough to choke it down. Regardless, this team is excited.
Dub Nation. That's how I'm feeling.
Brock Purdy had a fire in his kitchen during the first half of this game. 3 interceptions on 3 consecutive drives as he ended this one with a 58.5 QB rating.
When you turn the ball over really 3 drives in a row, it's like, all right, you just feel it. You feel a little bit of pressure and stuff, but I mean, this is why we're put in this position. I can handle this. As a quarterback, you can't lose confidence in yourself.
While most of the country is getting ready to take PTO, Christian McCaffrey has never heard of that term. He had 31 touches, he found the end zone, and for the 10th time this season, had more than 100 yards from scrimmage.
I think he's always successful when he gets his touches. I don't think that's been any different probably since he was playing Pop Warner football, you know.
I would love 30 touches a game. Whenever the ball's in his hands or going his way, you know, success happens. So why not keep throwing to him, hand him off the balls, you know. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really tough. I think it's actually really fun for him, and he probably wants that.
San Francisco can be thankful that they are 8-4 despite all the injuries. Next up, a feast on Thursday, followed by a game on Sunday in Cleveland.
6:27 on this Tuesday morning. Let's give you a live look at the Redwood Empire Food Bank. We are helping raise money for food banks that have seen urgent demand in recent weeks. You can see the employees and volunteers there hard at work on this Tuesday morning. We'll show you how your donations really do make a difference when we come back.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Welcome back. We continue to follow that breaking news. We reported this morning Ukraine has agreed to a U.S. brokered peace deal that could end the nearly 4 years of war with Russia. CBS News exclusively reports both Ukrainian and American officials confirm that Kyiv has accepted a peace proposal negotiated by the Trump administration. Only minor details still need to be finalized. President Zelensky expected to travel to Washington by the end of the month to complete the agreement. There's no immediate response from Russia, but U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll remains in Abu Dhabi, meeting with Russian and Ukrainian delegations to secure a ceasefire. All of this comes as overnight Russia launched an intense barrage of missiles and drones on Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv. The attack targeted power stations. 2 residential buildings were also hit, setting off fires and leaving hundreds of people without homes. NATO fighter jets scrambled in Romania after at least 1 Russian drone entered its airspace. We'll continue to follow this breaking news throughout the morning as we learn more. Now let's give you a live look outside. If I can guess correctly, that looks like Mount Diablo right in the middle of that sunrise right there. Jess Birch, what's going on this morning?
Well, between those 2 mountains, you see plenty of fog, and that is exactly what we're waking up to this morning. A dense fog advisory issued by the National Weather Service. All the way down to the surface level, some visibility. It's really tricky out there on the road, so just take it slow out there as we head outside this morning. A couple things to talk about. That fog advisory issued by the National Weather Service highlights all the zones and counties on this map, and that's the case as we head into the next couple hours. It'll expire at 11 a.m. Now, along our shoreline today, we still have that beach hazard statement also in effect issued by the National Weather Service. Choppy waves, of course, rip currents and sneaker waves are definitely possible. Not the day to head out to the coast, or at least into the water, I should say. Daytime highs all throughout the Bay Area, sitting in the upper 50s and lower 60s. I have that Thanksgiving holiday travel forecast coming up for you in just a bit. Max.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Over at Bay Area airports like SFO and Oakland International, the Thanksgiving travel rush is already underway with a record number of people expected to fly in the coming days. And our Bay Area airport leaders have the same advice. If you are flying out for Thanksgiving, arrive 2 hours early for a domestic flight, make it 3 for an international one. And if you're heading out on the roads, today and tomorrow are going to be the 2 of the busiest days. AAA recommends to leave before noon if you are driving today. Moving around the Bay now for headlines in your community. We are learning more about a deadly incident in San Francisco's Ingleside neighborhood. What started as a reported burglary ended up with a person dead. When officers showed up to the home on Granada Avenue Sunday afternoon, they found someone seriously hurt. That person later died. Police identified the suspect as Cassidy Wyatt Allen. They found and arrested him just a few blocks away. He's now facing charges for both murder and burglary. Investigators are still working to figure out what led to the violence. In the East Bay, House Representative Eric Swalwell just got a big boost to his campaign to be California's next governor. Real estate developer Stephen Klubeck has ended his first ever political campaign to back Swalwell's run for governor. The longtime Democratic donor said he would merge his campaign with Swalwell's in the state's crowded race for governor. Klubeck said his confidence in Swalwell stems from what he describes as the congressman's integrity, focus, and willingness to fight and protect the people. In San Francisco, as temperatures begin to drop, local shelters are preparing more warm beds for those without homes. The Interfaith Winter Shelter Program is back in service. The annual program adds between 30 to 80 beds every night at participating overnight-only shelters. Here's a list of the 5 participating shelters. Open now through the end of March, the program will rotate between the shelters. It is a first-come, first-served basis for adults 18 years and older. Bay Area commercial crab fishermen will have to wait at least a few more weeks to get a better sense of when they will be able to get the green light to harvest Dungeness crab. Years of shortened seasons have led many to leave the industry, but that's not stopping some younger generation fishermen from getting out on the water and getting creative. Kenny Choi shows us what they are doing to stay afloat during this latest delay.
Just one fishing boat is docked at Pier 45 in San Francisco, with its crew unloading their catch. It'll be another late night for Jonathan Tin and best friend Hunter Nguyen. They haven't slept much lately, with most of their days and nights at sea.
We just love it. There's nothing else like it, you know, going out there.
They're hauling in hundreds of pounds of rock crab, which can be fished year-round in shallow waters without endangering wildlife like humpbacks and brown leatherback turtles. But rock crab has less meat and isn't nearly as profitable compared to Dungeness.
This is a red rock crab and this is a yellow rock crab.
Tin says he can sell to wholesalers and off the boat for roughly half the price of Dungeness. Fishermen say their livelihoods are severely impacted by shortened seasons. Environmentalists say regulations over the years are making a difference. Ben Grundy is with the Center for Biological Diversity.
And we know that when there is gear in the water, whether it's one line or hundreds of lines, that there's a risk of an entanglement happening. So as long as there are still high numbers and large concentrations of marine animals off our coast, delaying the opening is definitely the smart thing to do.
So until the season opens, fishing for rock crab is Tin's best option.
We've been on the boat probably like 5 or 6 nights a week, go home once a week.
Other veteran fishermen say costs and lack of demand for rock crab are too prohibitive to make it sustainable for most crews in the fleet. We met Tin and Nguyen working as deckhands 2 years ago. They've hauled in countless crab pots for a decade.
We were able to save up some money and we bought this boat, and now we're working hard and trying to make a living for ourselves on this thing.
This is the chance they've been waiting for.
You have a lot more motivation to get things done, you know what I mean? Because it's all on you, all on yourself.
Crab is 4 1/4 inch.
Tin says it takes extra work finding wholesalers, grocery markets, and consumers willing to pay for these alternative crabs.
The majority of the meat in these things are in the claws. They have big, mean old claws.
As soon as the Dungeness delay is lifted by state wildlife officials, they'll gear up for the more profitable product. But for now, they're all in.
Well, get ready to glide into the holidays and help your friends and neighbors. Here's a live look at some fun in the East Bay. Walnut Creek on Ice, the rink where you can lace up your skates and help those in need. Today, the rink is hosting a one-day Skate It Forward event. For each ticket sold for the 10 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m. skate sessions, Walnut Creek Downtown will make a donation to our Food for Bay Area Families campaign. There's just enough of a chill in the air to hit the ice to get some fresh air and exercise for a good cause. Looking forward to seeing more about that today. Now to a story of buried treasure. A first edition copy of Superman #1 just sold for $9.12 million at an auction in Texas. The vintage high-grade copy of a forgotten Superman comic book set a record for the most expensive comic book ever sold. 3 brothers in San Francisco unearthed the comic in a cardboard box while clearing their late mother's attic last year. It It was only protected by a stack of old newspapers, a thrilling discovery for comic collectors.
It's one of the most desirable comic books that you could own. It's in the very highest grade. It's the original printing. It has a great story behind it. It's not something that had been in the hobby, sold previously, that anyone knew about. So I think it was just a lot of people got excited because it's just every factor in collecting that you could possibly want all rolled into one.
The Superman #1 comic, released in 1939 by Detective Comics, Inc., is one of a small number of copies known to be in existence. It is 6:38 on this Tuesday morning. More arrests in the infamous heist at the Louvre Museum, the updates that just came into the newsroom. Now let's get live to Veronica Macias showing off how your donation to food banks can make a huge difference for so many families in need. Hey, Veronica.
Good morning, Max. Yeah, we're having to position ourselves carefully here at the Redwood Empire Food Bank because these workers, they're on forklifts, they're zipping by bright and early this morning. This food bank helping 142,000 children, families, and seniors in this area, how they're seeing a growing need this holiday season and how you can help.
Looking forward to learning more, and let's give you a live look at San Francisco from Treasure Island this morning. It is a foggy start to the day. When we come back, Jess will have an update on your forecast. Stay with us.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back. We are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from across the globe. The Justice Department renewing its push to unseal grand jury records from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Congress just passed a law that President Trump signed that demands full transparency. The DOJ is asking the court to release all documents related to the convicted sex offender's case. French authorities just made more arrests in a high-profile jewelry heist at the Louvre. And 2 men and 2 women from the Paris area are now in custody, tied to the October theft of historic pieces worth more than $100 million, excuse me. The missing jewels include a diamond and emerald necklace once gifted by Napoleon and a tiara worn by Empress Eugenie. Investigators still haven't recovered the loot. Well, it is Travel Tuesday. And whether you are flying, driving, or taking a train, a record number of people are expected to travel this Thanksgiving holiday period. The TSA expects more than 17 million people to pass through airport screenings. And that includes more than 3 million on Sunday alone. Drivers outnumber those flying. AAA says nearly 82 million people will be on the roads, more than 9.5 million in California alone. So joining me now is AAA's Doug Johnson. Doug, it's great to see you on a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, how should travelers prepare for this busy holiday travel period?
Honestly, if you are driving your car, you need to check everything on your car. Make sure that you have the right tire pressure, that your oil levels are good, that your window wipers are working. You want to do all that before you leave. Obviously, the biggest calls that we have here at AAA are flat tires and dead batteries. So those are 2 areas you really want to check.
So, for people to plan ahead, what will the busiest, most packed times be on the road and at the airports?
Today is going to be the busiest day on the road by our numbers, and closely followed by tomorrow. Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be the busiest days to go. And then the Sunday after Thanksgiving is going to be the busiest day to come back. But by far and away, today is going to be the busiest travel day. So if you really want to beat the traffic, try and leave the home before 10 a.m. If you're leaving between that noon to 8 p.m. hours, that's when it's going to be the worst. And honestly, if you have to go at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it might just be better to wait until 8 o'clock.
So a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the government shutdown and the impact that it had on travel. Fast forward, that shutdown is over. Any impacts on travel plans or gas prices as we kick off this period?
Well, I do think a lot of people probably heard about all the impacts to the airline industry, and we're thinking maybe we should skip the airport this year. It's not that far to drive to, say, San Diego. So I do think there were some people that were in the planning stages said, forget the airport. And now it's probably too late for them to go back and buy a plane ticket. So they're just going to drive. You should expect to see probably more people on the road as a result of that. But again, we are seeing a lot of people. I think more than 1 million Californians are still going to be flying.
Going to be a busy couple of days. Hopefully everybody can make it to their navigate to their destination safely, and great tips as always. Thank you for joining us this morning, Doug.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, time now for a look at what is coming up later on CBS Mornings. Gail King joins us live from New York. Gail, great to see you on this holiday week.
Max, we are here live and in color one more day. I'm just trying to make it through Wednesday, Max, trying to make it through Wednesday. Coming up on CBS Mornings, we've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday. As you know, they are just days away, so that clock is ticking and talking. Kelly O'Grady is going to be here today. She's got best tips to score the deals. Plus, Dr. Celine Gowner joins us with important information about weight loss, medication, and pregnancy. So she's going to explain the risk if you plan to stop using them. If you plan to stop. This is very important information. And Anthony, as in Mason, is talking with Grammy winner Amanda Shires about her latest album and how it helped get her through a very emotional year. And one more thing, the 40th anniversary of the cult classic movie Clue, I Love the Game, will explore the movie's legacy and why it resonates so much with the audiences. So, Max, it's sort of like Miss Scarlet in the den with the knife. I used to love that game. We'll see you at 7 o'clock. And by the way, tell Liz I said hello. We just met the other day when we were in your town hanging out. So we had a great time with her.
I'll tell Liz hello, and also Vince Garrido. I know you had a great moment with Vince that morning as well. Great to have you here in the Bay, Gail.
I had so much fun with Vince. He is on, let me just say this, Vince Garrido is on his job always.
The man knows what he's doing. We appreciate it. Great to see you, Gail. All right, let's give you a live look outside on this Tuesday morning here in the Bay Area. A beautiful shot, again, of the sunrise and the fog. Again, just duking it out, the two of them. Jess, who is going to win this battle this morning?
It's going to take a while, but around 11 a.m., I have a good feeling that that fog is going to lose. Here's the reason why I say that. First things first, let's pull up the map below me. I want to paint this picture a little bit better on our virtual reality set. That fog is filling the bay as we wake up this morning. Daytime highs later into this afternoon, only holding on tight to upper 50s and lower 60s. But the reality is the National Weather Service has issued this dense fog advisory that will last until 11 a.m., reminding us to take it slow out there on the roads, especially with a low surface visibility along our coastal communities. We're not only dealing with that, but you see that blue color too. Another day of beach hazard statement issued by the National Weather Service, where we could see rip currents and sneaker waves just along that shoreline, choppy waters too. So be very careful out there close to the coast. Daytime highs, like I said, we're sitting in the 60s and 50s widespread throughout the Bay Area today. A cool afternoon for us right around the corner, but hey, at least it's dry. That's the big news for us, because reality is throughout most of the country right now, we're dealing with stormy weather, making it a little bit tricky out there for some of those airports. Chicago right now with a 30-minute weather delay. Throughout the West Coast, weather is relatively calm, but we've been tracking major storms sweeping throughout the plains, all the way up into the Tennessee and Ohio Valley, eventually into the Northeast later tonight. And we're going to continue to monitor that closely as we head into the next 7 days too, because reality is we could get to our Thanksgiving destinations, but we got to get back to. And the Bay Area weather is cooperating with us for all of our local airports and for the roads too. No slick surfaces out there as we head into the next 7 days. No rain in sight for us. It's a dry week for us, which is great news for that Thanksgiving travel. Now, you still want to take it slow out there on the roads, of course, and be very careful because traffic's going to be a little hectic, I'm sure. But at least at our local Bay Area airports, there's not going to be any weather delays. Just partly cloudy skies each day with 60s in store for us, even in our inland spots. Back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jess. Let's get you moving on the roadways this morning. The accident on 880 we told you about a half hour ago on Tennyson has cleared, but we still are seeing some slow and go traffic in the area. Travel time is about 35 minutes through that stretch. We're also still under that dense fog advisory. That is until 11 o'clock this morning, so expect widespread fog throughout the Bay Area. A good tip for you, give yourself a little bit of extra time and use your low beams if you encounter a lot of dense fog. Here's a live look at the Bay Bridge. It is bumper to bumper with a light layer of fog right now, so expect a little bit slower than usual, but nonetheless, the regular backup there at the maze. And here is a look at your public transit times. It appears that everything is running on schedule at the moment. That right there is a look at your morning commute. Every day, countless families across the Bay Area face tough choices just to get by. That's why every holiday season, CBS News Bay Area joins forces with local food banks to ensure nobody goes hungry. We know that food insecurity spiked just earlier this month during the government shutdown. SNAP benefits were paused, and that meant food stamps for millions of people were delayed. Federal workers also went without paychecks and needed food on the table. And that's where food banks stepped up to meet the demand. So Veronica Macias, she joins us live this morning in Santa Rosa at the Redwood Empire Food Bank. Veronica, volunteers and staff there are really working hard to make sure that families have food on the table on Thanksgiving and well beyond it through the holiday season and further.
Good morning, Max. You mentioned that big demand, and here at the Redwood Empire Food Bank, that's 142,000 children, families, and seniors that they're helping every single year. And it is a large demand. This morning, you have workers that are here bright and early, arriving at 5 a.m. to meet that demand. And we also have leaders of the food bank joining us this morning. Rochelle, Michaud, thank you for joining us. You know, we talk about the demand. You recently also, you were telling me some alarming numbers that you've seen with families that are coming up, signing up for the first time to receive assistance. Tell us about that.
Well, in the past month alone, we've seen over 1,800 families, new families who have never sought food help before, come to us for support and looking for ways to feed their families.
Talk to me about that number. You said somewhere around a 50% increase, 1,800 new families?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's more than we've seen in the history of what we do here. We are constantly seeing new families month over month, but not at that level. It has drastically changed since a lot of the resources that they've been receiving up until now have been lost. There's a lot of uncertainty in the community right now. I've spoken with so many different people that have different stories of why they're coming to us for food support. And while it's heartbreaking, we're happy that we're here to help. But our help can only go so far, and it doesn't replace some of the things that they've lost.
Thankfully, you are seeing a lot of help. We'll talk about those contributions later in show. Remember, every dollar that you help donate, they can stretch those dollars, creating 3 to help area families. And we'll send it back to you in studio, Max. Hopefully people, as they're having breakfast, getting out the door, think of the families that we're trying to help this morning.
A little bit really does go a long way. Thank you, Veronica. We look forward to checking back in with you in just a little bit. And you can join us in helping your community as a part of our Food for Bay Area Families initiative. Scan the QR code on your screen to find out how you can donate to or volunteer at our local food banks. You can also head to kpix.com/give to learn more. It is 6:53 on this Tuesday morning. There's a rodeo revival bringing fans to the stands. When we come back, Itai Hod will introduce us to the new riders taking the reins. Saddle up. We'll be right back. Time now for your Money Watch report. Let's give you a live look at the big board this morning, starting off slightly in the green. A good start to the day. We'll keep our eyes there. Meta is in talks to spend billions of dollars on Google AI chips. The Mountain View tech giant is taking aim at NVIDIA's lead in the artificial intelligence market. Meta is negotiating to use Google's Tensor Processing Units, or TPUX, in data centers starting in 2027. They may also rent chips from Google Cloud next year. In the Bay Area, it is not just tech that is booming. Rodeo culture is kicking up some dust of its own thanks to Western shows like Yellowstone. Itai Hod saddled up to see what and who is behind this unexpected change.
Just east of San Francisco, there's a stretch of California where cowboys have ruled for generations. Here, the day begins like it always has. Same boots, same spurs, same sky full of dust. Except today, this isn't your typical cowboy. In fact, this isn't a boy at all.
Something kind of badass about being a cowgirl.
There is, yeah, I could admit that. It's pretty awesome.
Jillian Murray is a fifth-generation rancher and professional breakaway roper. A rodeo event that's all about speed and snap, where the clock stops the moment the rope breaks free.
It was 2.3.
With her mom at the stopwatch and her dad at the gate, she practices until precision feels like an instinct, chasing those fractions of a second that separate the good from the great. Her personal best, 1.8 seconds, fast enough to make her the #2 breakaway rookie woman athlete on the California rodeo circuit.
You'd be shocked. A lot of girls can rope better than the guys.
As part of a new wave of cowgirls, Murray isn't just breaking horses, she's breaking barriers.
I think that we feel we have something to prove, and we want to prove it.
Everyone's forgotten who runs this valley.
With the success of shows from Yellowstone to Landman, rodeos are riding high.
What's it like when there's a women rodeo event?
Well, the bathroom lines are a lot longer.
Allison Caney, the first female CEO of the Cow Palace, one of California's biggest rodeo venues, says ticket sales rose 61% this year. And women's rodeo is now roping in fans fast.
You see more money being put into women's events. You see more advocacy for women's events.
And get into your swing?
And while watching it may be fun, doing it is harder than it looks. Because out here, cowgirls aren't just following the trail, they're taking the reins.
What a fun story to put together. All right, coming up on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12, a comeback for a Bay Area clothing retailer. We chat with the CEO of Gap to break down the strategies fueling Gap's revived identity. We're live from the Redwood Empire Food Bank with more on how you can help those in need this holiday season. We'll take a look at some of the hard work that volunteers are doing in the North Bay still ahead, and tell you more about what a difference you can make in the community. And let's give you a live look outside as we see the sunrise, the fog. Jess will tell you all about the weather when we see you on 44 Cable 12. Pix Plus.